Now I can't physically stand up because my face wasn't showing the video, but I'm gonna acknowledge my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, man. It's he's back. He's back. Now I can sit here all day and talk about how the bloodline is going to be back together again, which I don't think is going to happen. But at the same time, right? You talk about bloodline rules. You talk about all these matches that have had the bloodline written in them, correct? What do we see from Roman Reigns every time he comes? Wreaks havoc. Or he talks bad about somebody. Or he says, this is my ring. This is my cameraman. These are my commentating team because they acknowledge me, right? Or do we just know that he's going to come back? WrestleMania was the last time we saw him, right? And I'm so excited that he's back. That's really all I can say. Solo Sokoa has been walking around like he's the real tribal chief. He's been walking around like, oh, this is my yard. This is my stomping grounds. It's never been your stomping grounds, buddy. You were always the background. You were always second to first. You will always B to A. You were always the silver to the gold. You were always the enforcer, not the perpetrator, if you want to go there with the big words. You weren't the needle mover. You weren't the needle mover. Roman was. You are not the tribal chief. Roman Reigns is. Henceforth, the shirt that says only tribal chief. Now, some people have their perception on what it says, but I believe it is only tribal chief. Some people say one tribal chief. I took my guess along with Pat McAfee and Michael Cole took their guess while we were watching it, right? And it's the only tribal chief. He's the only one, literally. You can't walk around here saying that you're the tribal chief when you haven't won a championship, let alone a WWE championship. Just saying. I'm just saying. When you're not the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, you can't say anything. Okay? That championship alone is the company. That right there is the company. Yes, the World Heavyweight Championship is back. And Triple H, I applaud him for bringing championships back that we know that we wanted. We didn't want the Universal Championship to replace the World Heavyweight Championship. Yes, we had to go through that painful time on Raw, but now Raw understands that it's the world title and it's the WWE Championship. We're back to 2010 again, 2011, that era. Randy Orton versus CM Punk or Randy Orton versus Christian. If you're a real WWE fan like I am, you know what storylines I'm talking about. Well, Wade Barrett used to interfere in the matches, Sheamus, the whole little thing, right? The whole storyline. And you see how Triple H kind of put storylines from years and years ago into this. Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, for example, when he backstabbed the Shield, Plan B, if you know, you know, in 2014, brought it to light 10 years later, right? Where Roman backstabbed him. Backstabbed him. I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought he was going to go Cody Rhodes route, let Seth Rollins fall, whatever. But hey, as wrestling fans, this is what the treat we get. SummerSlam was great. SummerSlam was awesome. Okay. When Roman Reigns came back, I was even shocked, even though I had the feeling that he was coming back. But I started to get doubts when I was watching Solo versus Cody that he was not coming back, probably until the Royal Rumble. But now that he's back and now that he's going to be on SmackDown on Friday, oh man, guys, we're in for a treat, especially when you talk about what Solo's going to want to do to him. But Solo, it's not your gig, bro. It's not the new bloodline versus the old bloodline. This is like the Nexus versus the core. This is like old Nexus versus new Nexus for real WWE fans. If you know, you know. This is what this reminds me of. Judgment Day versus the new Judgment Day. I want to point on Judgment Day real fast also. Damian Priest, well done, my man. You got rid of all of those demons and stuff like that. You got rid of all of those people in your life that were bad for you in the Judgment Day. And yes, they showed you in the worst possible way that, hey, you're out the group, which he was going to be out the group anyway because he's the world heavyweight champion. But then it cost him the championship, Finn Balor, because you wanted to come out, you wanted to prove that you were the world heavyweight champion, right? But oh, was that the championship that you were presented with when you got injured and you and Seth Rollins were fighting for that championship back in 2016? No, you won that championship, Finn. You just so happened to be injured, Finn. So therefore, you couldn't actually hold the championship longer than one night, Finn. So therefore, you're jealous, Finn. It's okay, Finn. We all thought Finn was going to be one of the biggest stars in the industry until he got injured. When he won he's the inaugural Universal Champion. People don't remember that he is the inaugural Universal Champion. When you are the inaugural Universal Champion and you fall off like that the night that you win it, and you don't even hold it for one night, it's crazy. He didn't get it ripped away. No. He didn't get it vacated. No. He didn't have it cashed in on. He was injured. Now, if he wasn't injured, he would have had a great run as Universal Champion. Don't get me wrong. But Finn Balor's jealous. And I'm starting not to come to like Finn Balor anymore in my personal preference. I used to like the kid. I like, NXT champion, used to fight Kevin Owens and stuff like that. Great battles down there for the NXT title with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and others as well. But that's the old days, right? We're in the new era of WWE. We are in the Triple H era. We are in the all of Beck era of WWE, and it's been great so far. Ever since he took over, I have no complaints. This year has been probably the best year. I have no complaints whatsoever about how these lineup cards are going, how these mid-match cards are going. I have no complaints at all. In the rumors and the speculation and the animosity and the anticipation, everything has been going great, right? Give me a reason why. I'm going to segue into this. Give me a reason why Braun Breaker should not lose the Intercontinental Championship for at least 6 months to a year. He deserves it. Randy Orton, you see how Randy Orton used the Intercontinental Championship. The Intercontinental title is back to what it was used to do, elevate superstars. We see Randy Orton. We saw what it did to him, right? I mean, that's the most notable one. Boy became World Heavyweight Champion within a month of losing that championship. So, yes, he did beat Chris Benoit, rest in peace. But at the same time, we see what that championship can do to people who earn it. Braun Breaker will be WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, but when is the question now? Because he is our Intercontinental Champion. He beat Sami Zayn, basically squashed him. It wasn't even fair. So now, who is his next opponent? Who is his next opponent? And that's the question that I have if I am a diehard WWE fan. Big Brunson Reed. Why? Why did you destroy Seth Rollins? Please give me a great reason why. Because you want to make your name known? Because you want to be in the main event of Raw and SmackDown? You want to be in the main event of the Royal Rumble? You said that, oh, I'm going to make my presence felt. That's not a way to make your presence felt, in my opinion. I mean, yes, good job. But, like, you take out one of the best superstars in the game right now in Seth Rollins. Now, if I'm Triple H, this is probably too far-fetched, but there's an angle where it can be an angle where the Shield returns. Now, I know this is probably too much. The Shield can return, and the Shield can be so engaged with a big Brunson Reed storyline. Now you probably have to bring Chad Gable and the Creed brothers into it to make it such a Evolution Shield type of matchup. Not that I'm comparing Evolution and the Shield to them because that's crazy, but you need to figure out something, Triple H, right? Seth Rollins is probably going to be out for at least 2 months at the maximum with the rib injury, and when he comes back, he's gonna want Big Brunson Reed. He's gonna want him. Trust me, like he's gonna want him. So you need to prepare an angle, something that's going to get the juices flowing because I got a feeling Seth Rollins is coming back. And when he comes back, pedigree time. He's coming back on his 2015-16 time. Even though Seth has got way better, but 2015 Seth Rollins was undefeated. Everybody knows that. He was it wasn't even close. You can't replicate the 2015-2016 Seth Rollins. Can anybody do that? I don't think so. That was probably some of the best times of WWE as well. When I was transitioning from middle to high school, I loved watching it when I got home. Right, but if I didn't have any homework to do Friday nights, I'm on SmackDown watching Dean Ambrose and James Ellsworth and AJ Styles, and then I'm watching Seth Rollins on Raw taunting Roman Reigns because he's saying that Roman is the paper champion, basically. Like those are the times, right? And we're getting those times back slowly. It is now non-PG, which Attitude Era has returned in some way because every 5 minutes you hear somebody cuss. I like it like that. I do. But my question, will the Judgment Day finally be done? Will Liv Morgan finally realize that Dom is the one? Are the Terror Twins gonna actually take over? And what is next for Sami Zayn after losing the Intercontinental Championship? Those are my questions. Uh, Once again, we should all be asking these questions as true WWE fans. But that's all for me right now. I wish I had more, but you got to tune in for the next one because we have a lot more coming up in terms of WWE content. This is my first video. A lot more coming in to you about WWE content. I'm a diehard WWE fan, probably more than any other sports. So I can go on all day about this, but that's where you got to tune in next time. Sorry, guys. Stay live and let's go WWE.